to trigger or to alert and care for her companion when he would have seizures or was about to have seizures. And I'll never forget one time on the ice, we were skating up and down doing some practice, and she came down from the bleachers and started jumping up. This little retriever started barking, and I turned around and I looked at my goalie, and just in time for one of us to skate over and kind of help him down to the ice because he ended up having a seizure. And most people would sit there and go, why the heck would somebody who has seizures and has all these pre-existing health problems, traumatic brain injuries, why would they go into such a sport as hockey? And I would tell you that amazingly enough, that is the best life that he is living in 10 years, because Dave Denhart, one of my best friends, he was saved by the sport of hockey. This man served in Iraq and was injured, had severe traumatic brain injuries, put him in a wheelchair for several years. Hockey was actually able to rehabilitate, get some therapy, and begin to skate, and actually skating before he could really walk independently. And for him, the sport of hockey brought him back to a more normal lifestyle. So unfortunately for us, we recently lost our dear friend Tank and her rinkside demeanor, but I'll never forget that moment, and we're proud to have those opportunities to share those experiences with our friends and our families as well. So a little bit about myself. My name is Mike Palmer. I'm the president and co-founder of the Motor City Veterans Hockey Association. I also serve as the general manager and the director of operations, and I run our coaching and development program. I also happen to be I'm going to pop this chat window so I can see what we're doing here. Oops, excuse me. Let's go back one. I also happen to be an 8-year veteran of the United States Army. I served in 2005 to 2013. I did a tour in Iraq and Afghanistan before I got out of the military in 2013 for a family hardship. Returned home to take on a second career as a firefighter for the city of Rochester, where I serve today as a lieutenant. And I'll catch that. Yes, there is a replacement. Tank was actually retired before she passed away. So anyways, so now I serve in the city of Rochester, where I'm a lieutenant now. Family and myself, but busy with hockey. Additionally, I'm a youth hockey coach for the Troy Youth Hockey Association. I'm also the associate director on the board for the American Development Model. And I really don't have a lot of free time, but in my free time, I too ride motorcycles and like to travel all over the country. So I have my Harley and get out and kind of experience some of the outdoors there. So again, the Motor City Veterans Hockey Association, we are a great organization that helps veterans kind of experience some rehabilitation and recreational therapy using the sport of hockey. We're founded by a handful of members that come from a different program in the area and kind of experience some of the same things. But we wanted to expand a little bit more because we believe that therapy is critical when you include your family members. Certain USA Hockey sanctions prevented some other organizations from really actively including our family members. So we retooled and redesigned a model that helps us bring our family members and close support members in our individual lives out on the ice with us to share in that camaraderie and that fellowship. So our goal, providing veterans and their families that opportunity. We enjoy that therapy through the sport of hockey. Our mission is pretty simple. We offer individuals with military affiliation a very structured environment to learn and play the game of hockey. We provide recreational therapy. We provide our fellowship and camaraderie. We do both. We do activities both on and off the ice, and we engage very much in a family-based program. As we were talking, we believe in a whole family concept with recreational therapy. As you might expect, the wounds, both visible physical wounds and invisible wounds with traumatic brain injury and PTSD, can really put a very great stress on individuals' households and family life. We've made it a goal to include our family members as a part of that. Our current composition, we have 43 veteran members. 36 of them are disabled veterans by definition through the VA. Additionally, we have 5 support and player members, brothers, sisters, sons, and daughters of veterans that play. In addition, we also have more than 20 active non-player family members as well. So on and off the ice, we're very engaged. What we found is that this, including our family members, they have healthier home lives. You've got a very tight bond with your family being out there. They're engaged with your friends and hockey family, if you will. And that leads to a kind of an identifying challenges and problems before they manifest further. Additionally, these families, they have resources with other families who may have experienced some of the same traumas and trials and tribulations that they're going through. So for us, it's very much an engagement piece to kind of know what's going on in our members' lives and help kind of share as a talking point and a development point for families to work together. So how do we help our veterans? Well, we have education, awareness, advocacy is kind of our big piece. We are staffed with experienced USA Hockey coaches. Again, I direct a coaching and development program that includes former professional staff, collegiate players, and very highly trained development coaches that can teach very novice up to advanced technical skills. We have a staff of equipment specialists on hand that help us find the best protective equipment and any adaptive needs that maybe players with physical disabilities might have. And in addition, we have a licensed clinical psychologist who specializes in PTSD and traumatic brain injury on our staff as well, that she does some initial outreach and connects our veterans with long-term official care as well. We are an affiliate of USA Hockey, which is through their National Disabled section. Our veterans that are rated disabled through the VA, through some sort of identified disability that's service connected, they participate in outreach throughout the country. So our players are able to get engaged with that as well. We also focus a lot in community engagement. We participate in a lot of public relation events and activities. And in addition, our members do get recognized for volunteer hours in the community. So we really encourage kind of that civic duty as well. Again, we have our veterans resources. We connect our players with appropriate VA representatives and VSOs, veteran service officers, to make sure that they get the help that they need or the assistance that might be required to file paperwork that gets them the appropriate compensation for their disability claims. Additionally, we have contacts at many universities that help us get some educational resources through their local veteran service offices, and a lot of career networking opportunities as well. We've placed several veterans in career jobs, both part-time and full-time, and have gotten several of our players their disability ratings. Lastly, we do offer some limited financial assistance to our members to participate in hockey activities. As you might expect, I'm sure Gail could attest to, our program, or the sport of hockey, is expensive. Sometimes that could be prohibitively expensive for veterans who are on a fixed income. So we identify those needs, and we ensure that no veteran is financially left out of participating in our activities, whether it's here locally in some of our development camps and leagues, or traveling nationally with our program to other tournaments and activities. So our history, we were founded 3 years ago in February of 2017. A group of our veterans seen here in this picture, we traveled to Minnesota to take place in a disabled veterans hockey tournament. We had a wonderful time and a great experience, and we realized that this was a group of people that maybe we wanted to pursue something more. So throughout the spring of 2017, we decided to get into some local leagues. We began our journey locally at the Troy Sports Center, where I coach, and played in some of their weekly adult leagues. And then in June, we formed a nonprofit organization formerly named the Motor City Veterans Hockey Association. We connected with a former founder and director of Camp Liberty. His name was Rick Briggs, an Air Force veteran. And prior to his retirement and relocation down to his retirement home in the South, he served as our first general manager. He kind of secured us some funding and some sponsorships, and we began to kind of grow and expand our program. At the time, we were serving about 30 veterans on one team. In early 2018, Dr. Brittany Briggs, who happened to be his daughter and a collegiate hockey player, she joined our program as a development coach as well as a clinical psychologist. So as we expanded into 2018, we realized that we needed to kind of look at more teams and more programs across the region, from Novi across to the east side of the Motor City region. So following some tournament travel in 2018, we went back and finished second place in Minnesota, and then won our first national championship in 2018 in Chicago. We decided to relocate one of our teams and then expand to a second team. This allowed us to include more veterans weekly in our development and our engagement locally, and kind of prepare them to travel with us. We were able to start prepping to send more than just one team to our national tournaments. So again, we expanded our footprint, developed more players, introduced the sport of hockey to more veterans, and kind of helped expand the outreach of what hockey provides. So again, our notable achievements: we have 3 full years of competition completed. Our program has played over 180 games, both locally and throughout the country. We've traveled to 6 national tournaments and have several finalists and a few championships under our belt as well. What this doesn't show is, although we have right now 40 something members on our roster, that does not account for several members that either don't play hockey or aren't engaged anymore. But our program has reached almost 100 members to date in the veterans hockey community that have participated with our program. Additionally, we've done outreach with other hockey programs similar to ours, both in the state and abroad. We traveled to Chicago to participate with the Chicago Blackhawk Warriors hockey program in some outreach activities and some fundraising charity. The Saginaw Spirit Warriors here locally, they have a team, and they lost one of their players to suicide, unfortunately, late last year, and we traveled up to help raise some money and funding to provide for some benevolence for that young man's family. So in addition to our on the ice achievements, in formal competition, we do a lot of informal charity events as well. For 2020 and beyond, as you would imagine, we're not sure what is going to come this hockey season. It's to be expected that we'll play hockey. We just don't know what that might look like. That impact from COVID-19, it does affect funding, but we're structured well enough to where we believe that we will still get our ice, and barring any physical shutdowns of the hockey rinks this year, we will play hockey. We have plans to continue our affiliations both in Fraser and in Arbor. We have secured preliminary contracts as well to include Royal Oak, Rochester, and return to Troy. And what this is going to allow us to do is reach some areas where players may not be able to travel across county or across the region to kind of get those guys that maybe don't have the time to go longer distances to play hockey. We're going to provide for some more development camps and learn to skate programs for newer hockey players, as well as charity events. Additionally, we're working at exploring some adaptive sports opportunities. Again, players with physical disabilities, amputees, players with severe traumatic brain injury, or other problems that physically impair their ability to skate. We're looking at the the expansion to sled hockey, which is a common hockey program for disabled hockey players, as well as adaptive equipment that will help those amputees or other players continue to enjoy that recreational lifestyle. And then our last initiative for 2020 and beyond is looking at player safety and protective equipment initiative. We're exploring funding for grants that would allow us to ensure that players who have severe traumatic brain injury history would be equipped with the top of the line helmet for head protection, as an example. Players with severe back or shoulder injuries would be able to be equipped with the appropriate adapted gear that would ensure that if they are in a collision or some sort of fall, that they'll be well protected. This provides us a safe environment to get these players out on the ice, whether they have experience or not, and kind of get them active. We understand with the Motor City veterans that a healthy and active lifestyle is half the battle to making sure that your mind is sound and kind of work through it. So making sure that our players are comfortable on the ice and active, again, helps their mental health as well. If you would like more information, feel free to visit us at MotorCityVeteransHockey.com. We can be found on Facebook at Motor City Veterans. You can email at us at info@mcvha.us, or as always, feel free to contact me directly. My email information and phone number is there. I'll also make this presentation available to anybody who's interested. I can send it to you guys for distribution if you would like. So we're just very appreciative of the opportunity to get out and show veterans that don't have that ability to get out, maybe be as active as they used to. This is an avenue to do that. And there's a lot of fellowship involved. This is a very tight-knit group that when we started, we knew we had to bring more people in, because we have one of the highest retention rates of similar recreational programs in the country. Once our players join, generally we don't lose any members to going and forgetting to play, going off to other activities or quitting the sport of hockey. So we're really proud of our recruiting and retention and getting veterans engaged. And again, more importantly, making sure that their families are involved as well. So I thank you for your time, and I'm open to questions or comments. I very much appreciate the opportunity to speak with you guys and tell you a little bit about our program and what we do.
Gail, do you want to go through the questions on the chat?
Sure. Do you notice that the PTSD, does that decrease over time for the vets that are involved in the hockey association that you have?
Absolutely. We have, yes, you can post the slides on Facebook, by the way. Yes, what we've noticed is you see, while we don't necessarily see somebody who's going through those mental health challenges on the outside, what we experience is I may have a player, for instance, that says, "Oh, I'm having a bad day." And then you don't talk to them for a day or two, and you have these, those experiences. And what we've noticed is you experience those less as you get those players more engaged. So, I have one of my members, as an example, he used to have 1 or 2 of those days a week. And as you see the hockey season progress, he's got something to look forward to 2 or 3 skates a week. And so that does impact it significantly. And so those challenges that kind of pop up, those incidents decrease. So our players would give their testimonials that would say, yes, their minds are in a much better place as well.
Are you guys able to play hockey anywhere right now?
We did play last weekend. We did a scrimmage at the Onyx in Rochester. It was an informal kind of return to play experience. We brought, I think we had 22 members show up to play. And so we got out and got on the ice. It was a little bit of a bumpy experience for everybody because we're knocking some rust off. But we do have some plans to kind of secure some rental ice, here and there wherever we can get one day contracts or one sheet contracts. But our regularly scheduled ice isn't happening, and neither are leagues quite yet. We have worked with the Wounded Warrior Project in the past. Again, there is more than one program that supports veterans hockey in Southeast Michigan. So in that respect, it's a competitive environment to kind of seek some of those corporate sponsorships. But we have done some small activities with Wounded Warrior Product as well. I see here, how much an hour of ice rental? It varies. Generally for us, we would rent 80 minutes, an hour and a half sheet of ice. And that would cost us about $350 to $400, depending on the time of day and day of the week that it is. Additionally, what we do is a partial pay system for a lot of our ice. So our players, generally, if I were to just book a sheet of ice and have my friends come out, it might cost them $20 a person to go skate for an hour. Whereas we defray some of those costs so our players can come out for $5 to $10 for a skate. Or if they're going through some financial hardships, we can offer some assistance to offset that as well. So for us, weekly ice on a contract year would cost us about $5,000 for the whole year. And that doesn't count our leagues. That's just our development ice. But if we're picking up individual ice, it's about $300 to $400.
Hello, Mr. Palmer. My name is Wyatt Lucas, and I just want to say it's both a pleasure and honor to meet you. Thank you so much for your service. It's greatly appreciated. And I just want to say thank you so much for trying to help me with my Eagle Scout project. It means a lot. And it's great to know that there's groups out there like you guys that's fun to meet up with and be able to help you guys out and just overall have a good time and just benefit everyone and from the sport of hockey and stuff.
No, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to supporting it for everybody else. And maybe you guys are already aware. I received an email from one of my representatives at USA Hockey about Wyatt's project, just because this is my area and I had no knowledge of what was going on. So when I reached out to Wyatt and talked to him on the email, I said, out of curiosity, where do you play? And he mentioned Troy, and I happen to do some side work with BNR Sports, our pro shop in Troy, and then I coach in Troy. So kind of a small world to link up and have that opportunity. Call it fate, if you will. It's a great opportunity to get out and engage. So we're looking forward to it in any way that we can help. I see a question here about Guns and Hoses. So a funny story about that is, as my role with the city of Rochester, I also run an informal group of fire and police hockey players through our city. And we actually do our own Guns and Hoses program there to raise money for the New Day Foundation for Families Cancer charities in Rochester Hills. So we've raised about $30,000 to date in the last 2 years to support that as well. So I do that as a side project in addition to this program as well. So very familiar with Guns and Hoses, and so Battle of the Badges, that's a great idea as well.
Are you guys doing anything this year?
Not right now. So annually I do 2 Guns and Hoses event a year through the city of Rochester. Our event in the fall, generally the last weekend in October or first weekend in November, we would do an event. We haven't decided if that's still going to happen. We're still waiting to see how the pandemic plays out. And then this past spring, we obviously had to postpone. We had a game against the Detroit Red Wings alumni that we were planning on playing that's been canceled until next spring. So we're kind of waiting to find out how that's all going to go. I see a question here about Troy Sports Center. I do still coach at Troy. We used to have a league team in Troy. We since moved to a different rink, but we do go back and skate at Troy very, very frequently. My daughter plays at Troy, and so I kind of live at the Troy Sports Center in my off time. And no, we do not skate at USA Hockey, at USA Hockey Arena, if that's the question from Linda. There, like I said, there's another program. They might be utilizing some of that facility as well. All right. I don't think I see any other questions on here unless I'm missing something. Well, I do thank everybody for your time. This looks like a wonderful group, wonderful organization. I'm very impressed by how well your meeting is structured and organized. With my different groups, it's something to be admired because it takes a lot of coordination to put on these Zoom meetings, and it's admirable. So I'm impressed, and thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Sorry, I think Bala's on mute. He's trying to speak. Bala, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you very much. Michael, thank you very much for your great service to this great country of ours and to the Veterans Hockey Association and the great work you're doing, and more specifically to help Wyatt and his team to upcoming Eagle Scouts planning and getting the Eagle Scout Awards. And Gail, thank you for bringing such a great program to Troy Rotary. Appreciate that. And talking about great programs, the next announcement is from Roma on Lucky Luau update.
Okay, thank you. So the Lucky Luau, as you guys know, has been rescheduled to August the 1st. It's going to be still at Petrozello's. I sent a note out to the people that purchased tickets online, but also I know many of you have purchased paper tickets as well. So we are giving you guys 3 options for those of you that have purchased tickets, either to continue with the dinner and attend in person. That's the first option. Second option is if you are not comfortable in attending, we would still like you to participate, and you can visit us on a Zoom. We'll be broadcasting it live. And if you're not able to attend, I am having